So many people in America hear that word, censorship. There are different kinds, different forms, and different approaches. Pages and pages of history, of knowledge, of experiences have been lost. There have been book bannings, book burnings, and formal limitations of exposure to certain literary materials. No matter who is banning the books, the point is that it is subjective. Only certain people decide what is appropriate, what is meant for their children to read or be exposed to. This can open the door to discrimination, homosexuality, slavery, racial segregation, disabilities, truth. One thing leads to another, and then every minority story is left untold. Not many people are aware that censorship is an important issue, or even pay much attention to literary censorship. But it is still a battle fought in America, and we have not won yet. In this video, I will look at my classmates' understanding of literary censorship and their opinions on the process and discrimination that can play a role. What is literary censorship? Based on my research, I found that censorship is when books are not distributed to people because they are seen as being inappropriate or having no beneficial impact on the readers. But I wanted to get a better understanding, so I asked a few of my classmates what they thought that censorship was.
Literary censorship is the repression and suppression of artistic expression as it relates to just the literary form, so through word. Because it really, people don't agree with everything all the time.
Literary censorship is when a book or novel of some sort, or even work, is prohibited from a certain area because of the content of the work.
It's when you don't say everything that you mean to or want to because of some sort of outside influence.
Literary censorship is when the government or some sort of organization bans books because of a topic that they deem is unsuitable for a certain age group.
So literary censorship is pretty much the censorship, or they take out certain aspects of the book, certain points, or even just ban the book in general. And normally this happens because people find it either too offensive or graphic. A lot of times it's destructive towards communities because of the fact that banning books can take away part of history in a sense.
I mean, sure, they can get out of hand with the books they ban, but certain books some people shouldn't read until they're a bit older.
We should have freedom of expression of all art. And just by banning a particular book takes away one piece of our art.
Yeah, books can be educational, both learning history, learning about people's arrogance. Hitler wrote a book once, people read it at times, not really, but it's educational.
I don't really see the point of banning books, honestly. If you don't want to read a book, probably don't pick it up.
My classmates had similar understandings that literary censorship is when people prohibit others from reading due to inappropriate content. They also understood that this was not always the best option. In my project, I agree with them wholeheartedly. Censorship has become more ingrained in society in the 21st century. In a map depicting bans or book challenges in the United States, 280 books were challenged or banned, formally or informally, in the past 4 years. Out of those 280, 211 of those books were banned or challenged in either the South, West, or Midwest, leaving only 69 books banned or challenged in the North and East. Because literary censorship is not as common in the Northern and Eastern regions, I began to find that more people in the North and East were not aware that censorship was an important issue. I decided to look at students in my school to see if they believed that censorship was an issue worth delving into. Would you consider censorship to be an important issue in America?
Sure. I think that
According to the First Amendment in our Constitution, we have the right to free speech, and censorship in the United States therefore should be illegal. But I think that in some places there's self-censorship going on, or other forms of censorship that I think should be stopped.
I do think it's an important issue because I think some books are banned for certain reasons that aren't, I guess you could say, valid, but at the same time I can understand where it comes from. But a lot of people disagree on this subject, which is why I think it's an important issue to address.
In America, no. Elsewhere, definitely yes. But I haven't seen it a whole lot in America, at least in terms of like literary censorship.
I'd say that I haven't really been affected that much by banned books, mostly because I read a lot of things online. So I don't know how much I could say about the effects and importance of banned books, considering how I can just Google it.
There are reasons for book banning that I tried to uncover. According to American Library Association, it is because parents and other concerned people in the communities try to protect children from unseemly content. According to Carrie Mitchell of DC Public Libraries, it is to instill traditional values of a white nuclear family. For me, it is somewhere in the middle. I began to think about how discrimination can play a role in book banning. I found a case where the book Beloved by Toni Morrison was banned in 2007 in Kentucky. This book was about an escaped slave named Seth, who was haunted by the daughter she killed because she didn't want her child to suffer the cruelty of slavery. The reason it was banned was for depicting inappropriate topics of bestiality, racism, and sex. However, it was replaced with The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne, about a woman in a New English colony named Hester who had an affair with the town priest and a child out of wedlock. She was ostracized by her town, while the priest was not punished at all. Furthermore, Nathaniel Hawthorne did not receive the same accolades as Toni Morrison, who received both the Pulitzer and Nobel Prizes for her book. In my opinion, discrimination plays a part in this happening, but I asked my classmates about this to see how they felt. I also asked friends if they believe the discrimination plays a part in book banning.
So personally, I think that racial discrimination, I don't think that what really plays a factor in it, just because of looking at the time period. But I do think book discrimination is a type of thing. And I know that might sound weird, but I think a lot of the community, they all have their perceptions on what is appropriate in customs and culture. And so I think when it doesn't apply to their cultures, that's where this discrimination comes from. But it's not exactly racial, just different culture differences.
It might be more geared towards the whole killing your son or child.
But then textbooks on World War II shouldn't be allowed.
I'm not going to debate. I can see why they would want to ban it, but it's not necessarily justified because it's going to crap.
I think discrimination is a major player in the banning of books because, the books are banned because people find them offensive and words or the whole book offensive, so that for different reasons. So in terms of discrimination, be it racial discrimination, gender discrimination, or like sexual preference, it's one of the major factors. So.
Definitely. I think that across all different minorities, especially in the African American community and LGBTQ communities, that there are many governments and parent organizations that feel uncomfortable with their children reading certain books because they're uncomfortable with the topics, and they pass on those discomforts to their children, which is why they ban the books, which leads to an uneducated population.
Not everyone knows what literary censorship is. Not everyone knows how it works. Not everyone knows why people censor books. But book banning is important and has much relevance in today's society. Looking at the responses of my classmates, I have found how people understand literary censorship and how they respond to it. I hope that more people are able to learn from this and spread their knowledge of literary censorship as they learn more. I myself held a session on banned books, their impact on our society, and the role of discrimination through it. And this is only the beginning. For more information, go to ala.org or go to ftfr.org. Thank you for your time. Please like and share to inform others.
Party girls, don't get hurt, can't feel anything. When will I learn? I push it down, push it down. I'm the one for a good time call, phone's blowing up. Ring on my doorbell, I feel the love, I feel the love.